Welcome to our V Cert Level 1-2 Technical Award Bite-Size Introduction for the subject area of Business and Enterprise. This webinar will guide you through the structure of the qualification, the examined and non-exam assessments, and will provide an overview of the quality assurance process. There'll also be a summary of the teaching and learning materials and other resources that we have available to support you in your delivery. Lastly, it'll provide details of the provider development team if further support is required or if you have any other questions. Firstly though, I'll provide an overview of the qualification. This is the qualification structure for business and enterprise. The guided learning hours are 145 and this includes 120 hours for delivery, 21 hours for the NEA, plus 2 hours preparation and research time and 1 hour 30 minutes for the external assessment. The total qualification time is 159 hours and this includes homework that you might set and/or independent learning. The NEA has a 60% weighting and the EA has a 40% weighting. The content assessed in both the NEA and the EA will be sampled from across the full breadth of the qualification. The overall qualification grades are a level 1 pass up to a distinction, and for level 2, a pass up to a distinction star. This slide shows a typical 2-year delivery model. Now, this is only a suggestion, but it does help to illustrate the new structure so that you can visualize how it's going to work for you. It essentially follows a very similar structure to that of a GCSE in that the first year is for delivery where there are no summative assessments and the second year is the assessment year. It has been designed this way to allow the first year of delivery to be focused entirely on teaching the content of the qualification. This really does allow you to focus on ensuring that the learners are building up knowledge and skills and gives you as much time as possible to teach the qualification content so that your learners are ready for their assessments. All technical awards now have a terminal assessment rule as stipulated by Ofqual and the Department for Education. This means that the external examinations must be taken at the end of the qualification after the non-exam assessment, i.e. the synoptic project, has been completed. We will be releasing the NEA brief on the 1st of September each year, and it can be administered from September 2 if all the content has been taught. We think all the content could have been comfortably been delivered by December, ready to start the NEA in January, but we do realise that some schools may get through everything sooner. The final marks will need to be submitted to the portal by the 30th of April each year, in which the learner evidence will then be moderated. It can be delivered over 3 years as some centres might want to start delivering in year 9, although we do recommend a 2-year delivery model so that it coincides with GCSEs. There is one unit that contains 8 content areas for business and enterprise. The specification includes the indicative content and the teaching guidance that will help support your delivery. Formative assessment can help you track your learners' progress in the first year of studying this qualification. Keeping a record of each formative assessment result will allow you to monitor your learners' ongoing progress, predict a final grade, and identify if any further interventions are required. There are various sources of data for performance indicators, such as endotopic tests, discussions with learners to assess their depth and breadth of knowledge of the subject content, homework and independent study tasks. Also, engagement with practical activities and outcomes of practical tasks, performance at Key Stage 3, teacher observation during practical tasks using the NEA practical assessment criteria. There are also many resources such as learning roundups in the teacher materials, sample assessment materials, and prepare to teach activities that are available on our website to further support your formative assessment. Other performance indicators can include the mark schemes with the mark ranges. It is worth noting that the range of marks in the mark scheme can be a performance indicator. So, for example, 7 to 12 marks could be a distinction, strong level 2 merit. 4 to 6 marks could be a merit or a strong level pass, and 0 to 3 marks could be in the level 1 range. Another useful way to track your learner progress is to use the overall grading descriptors in the specification. In our Year 1 Prepare to Teach session, we do go into more detail about formative assessment, and on your screen now you will see a range of methods. Just take a few moments to consider which ones do you use a wide range of activities, and have you considered that your learners may get assessment fatigue? Thinking more broadly, could you develop your practice to make things easy for you or better for your learners? I know that I have my favourite method as a teacher, but I do need to be mindful that all learners are different and respond differently. So making things fun, diversifying the approaches and reviewing the impact and success of my approach is really important.
There will now be more detail about the non-exam assessment, including the sample material that is also available. The non-exam assessment is a practical project that learners undertake under controlled and supervised conditions. It has a set number of tasks that are to be completed in 21 hours plus 2 hours preparation and research time. The NEA is externally set by NCFE, and there will be only one attempt at the NEA per session, so there is no resubmission opportunity. For business and enterprise, the NEA is a 60% of the technical award and has a total of 120 marks. A different NEA brief will be released every September, and it will target the assessment objectives AO1, AO2, AO3, AO4 and AO5. This slide shows a summary of the NEA tasks for business and enterprise, including the marks to be awarded for each section. The key point to note here is that when you are considering the learner journey and the sequence in the curriculum, the content areas need to be continually linked to the NEA and the tasks. It's also worth considering how your learner journey also links to the external assessment too. Subject-specific tutor guidance has been produced to support the delivery of the Level 1-2 Technical Award for both the EA and the NEA. It is not intended to replace the specification documents, but should be used in conjunction with them to support the successful delivery and completion of the qualification and assessments. You will find this document in the support materials section of the qualification page on our website. The NEA will be electronically available on the 1st of September in the year of certification, and the final NEA marks are now to be submitted to the portal by the 30th of April. All teaching must be complete prior to accessing the assessment, and the learner must be booked onto the NEA associated with the year of completion. Prior to commencing the formal set hours for the NEA time, learners should be allocated 2 hours preparation and research time. During this time, learners may have access to the project brief, but may not have access to the NEA tasks. This is a 2-hour time period, is entirely open book where learners can access their teaching and learning materials, textbooks, the internet, and other published materials. From this, they should develop a research support pack, which can be used as their source of information when completing the NEA. This is also the only support material that is permitted during the completion of the NEA tasks, unless otherwise stated within each task instructions, and must be submitted to the tutor at the end of each session and kept secure. The material developed in the planning, preparation and research time does not have to be submitted as assessment evidence. The research pack should be no more than 4 sides of A4 in font size 12, and this can be handwritten or electronic. Some tasks within the NEA permit the use of the internet access to support the completion of the task. Learners will be required to submit a copy of their internal browsing history to ensure that the controls around the internet use are adhered to. When the NEA allows for the research requiring the use of internet, learners must reference the source in their work. Learners must cite sources of information within their NEA. There is a useful table in section 8 that will show you if the use of the internet is permitted and if the internet browsing history is required. There is also specific guidance for each task within the NEA. This includes the inclusion of these tasks is to illustrate the proposed structure and timings, required resources, in addition to the pack developed in the preparation and research time, and any additional requirements around delivery or controls. Within the regulations for conduct of the NEA section, instructions are provided on the correct administration of the NEA. NEA tasks must be issued one at a time and in the correct sequence to appropriately meet the requirements of the task in terms of the resources and the organisation of the learning environment. All learners should start each task at the same time to promote fairness and prevent unfair learner advantage and aid centre manageability. Learners can rework their evidence at any point during their supervised sessions, but supervisors must not give any feedback to a learner on how a task or area can be improved. Learners' work must not be assessed, marked, or internally quality assured during supervised sessions. Learners will only have one opportunity to sit the NEA each session. Therefore, if a learner does not achieve, they will need to be re-registered to sit the NEA and the EA for the next series. Centres will be provided with training opportunities for how to administer and assess the NEA, including the application of mark schemes. They will provide valuable information to help you understand our mark schemes, supporting you to run your own standardisation session prior to the assessment window opening. These events are a great opportunity to expand your knowledge and understanding of the V Cert technical awards and are suitable for assessors and the IQAs delivering of these qualifications. Attendance to these sessions will also be checked as part of your annual monitoring review, or AMR. The V Cert administration training will cover the administrative activities required to deliver and assess our technical awards, including key dates, completion of assessment paperwork, your roles and responsibilities, and what you can expect from NCFE. The V Cert Prepared to Assess training will help develop your understanding of the grading criteria when assessing your learners' responses to the internally assessed units and will provide valuable information to help you understand our mark scheme. There are sample assessment materials available for the NEA, and these are for you to use as practice projects, and you can fit these in whenever works best for you, be that summer year 10, January year 11, whenever you feel it will be the most beneficial for your learners. There is also a sample mark scheme. Sample assessment materials, including mark schemes, will be available for you to access on the NCFE website on the V Cert page. NEA example responses are available to download in the assessment materials section of the qualification page on our website. They will not be differentiated by level for the Model 5, as these are not determined until marks are combined for the EA and the NEA and the overall marks are added together. There is a top Band 4 and a Band 2 level response for each qualification. The example on this side is the Band 2 NEA response. And this is a Band 4 NEA response example.
There will now be more detail about the examined assessment, including the sample assessment materials that are also available. To summarise, the examined assessment, or the EA, is 40% of the technical award for business and enterprise. It is a written examination that is externally set by NCFE. Learners have 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete it, and it is graded out of 80 marks. There is a mixture of multiple choice, short answer, and extended response questions, and it targets assessment objectives AO1, AO2, and AO3. The examination date is May-June time every year, and there is only one attempt at the examined assessment. Booking for the EA is upon registration, and please do refer to the external assessment timetable on our website for the confirmation of the exact exam dates, and these will be published a year in advance of the actual external assessment. Surpass is our online assessment system that allows centres to deliver external assessments securely on screen. The technical requirements that must be met to run the online assessment system are outlined in our technical specification document. You need to complete the registration form and a member of the relevant team will contact you. Once you're approved, there are various support guides aimed at supporting members of staff that will be involved with the different stages of the assessment process. For more information and support, please do visit our NCFE website on the Qualifications for Assessment Centre Assessment Support online page. There are three main types of questions on the external assessment, and where possible, they have been set within the context of the subject with real-world case studies. The first type of question is multiple choice, and these are often usually worth 1 mark. Multiple choice questions cover assessment objective 1. The second type of question is short answer, and these are usually around 2 to 4 marks. And the third type of question is extended response, and these are usually worth 6 marks or more. To support effective teaching and learning, the table in the tutor guidance document provides centres with the command word taxonomy used for the external assessment. It illustrates the range of command words, associated assessment objectives, and their intended use. It is intended to support centres when creating assessment tools. Please note that these cover the full range of our Level 1-2 technical award qualifications, and some may be more appropriate for certain subject areas. You'll find this document in the support materials section of the qualification page on our website. Again, there are sample assessment materials available for the external assessment, and these are for you to use as mocks, and you can fit these in whenever it works best for you and your learners. The mark scheme is also available, and the sample assessment materials, including the mark schemes, are available for you to access on the NCFE website on the V Cert page.
The next few slides will provide a brief overview of the quality assurance process and then provide some information in relation to moderation. The assessors will assess and mark all learner evidence for the NEA in line with the mark scheme provided by NCFE. The assessors will also complete the learner feedback form, which is available in your assessment pack, and this will be released within the NEA brief on the 1st of September. As the NEA is moderated, the centre's IQA efforts need to be focused on upfront standardisation. Centres need to apply their own IQA policy process based on the outcomes of standardisation activities they complete to satisfy their own internal quality assurance. Standardisation will ensure assessors' judgments are in line with the qualification specification and grading criteria. In line with the JCQ guidance, centres should inform learners of their centre-assessed marks before marks are submitted to NCFE to allow for any internal centre appeals. Centres should make it clear to learners that any centre-assessed marks are subject to change through the moderation process. Once the centre has submitted the marks to the portal, learners will then be selected for sampling, and the evidence will be reviewed by a moderator. Moderation will take place remotely, and feedback will be provided on results day in a final moderation report accessed on the portal. All centres with active registration will have an annual monitoring review to review your policies and procedures. Your quality reviewer will contact you to suggest a date and time to conduct the AMR. No learner portfolios will be sampled during this review, and the QR will not provide any subject-specific guidance. For further support, visit our AMR page on our website and view the user guide to the annual monitoring report. And if you have any queries about quality assurance, please contact the external quality assurance team. You will be asked to submit marks for each learner on the portal, and we will use these marks to select learners to be sampled based on the JCQ sample strategy. A sample will be requested based on stage 3, and you will be able to view the learners selected for sampling on the portal. Learners selected for sampling will be visible on the portal the day after the window closes. Centres will be required to view the sampling plan on the portal and upload learner evidence for sample learners within 48 hours. Guidance on how to do this can be found in the portal user guide. During moderation, the moderator will assess the sample. Following the moderation process, the outcome of our quality checks, one of the following 3 marks will be applied to your cohort. The provider mark confirms that the provider mark has been accepted. The regress mark confirms that the regress mark has been accepted. And the moderator mark confirms that the moderator mark has been accepted. You will receive a moderation report to explain the outcomes of the moderation activity along with areas performed well and areas for development. For further information and guidance, please do refer to the Preparing for Moderation review on our website. The next slides will give you details of the resources and support that will be available to you in your centres. Visit ncfe.org.uk to find everything you need to know about onboarding, quality assurance, using the portal, moderation assessment, certificates, training events, forms, support visits and much more. You'll also find a dedicated area to support the delivery of essential digital skills, functional skills, T-levels as well as V Certs, including curriculum support and assessment resources. If you're involved in teaching assessment and quality assurance, these pages will be most useful to you. The V Cert page, delivery support, assessment support, customer and learner support, preparing for quality assurance. And I'll talk in a little more detail about each one of these over the next few slides. On our NCFE website within the V Cert page, you'll find the information about why choose V Certs and the 14 to 16 schools brochure that contains information about Key Stage 4 vocational education and how to learn more about our V Cert qualifications. They could also be used as option evenings in order to help learners make informed decisions about which qualifications to take, what the progression opportunities are, and the career prospects. You'll also find the link to each subject-specific page and contains the information such as a specification, sample assessment materials, and teacher materials. We also have our Parent, Supporter and Pupil V Cert Information Hub, where there are resources aimed at helping parents and learners make informed decisions around V Certs, including a parent guide, what learners think about V Certs, and subject guides. On both pages, you can also use the Get in Touch function, where you can request more information on the subjects you're interested in. There is also the opportunity to tick the marketing communications box to receive updates on our qualification events and news relevant to you via email, on the phone, or through social media channels. You can use our Search Our Qualifications function by adding your subject area or qualification code or you can select V Certs in the featured box. Always ensure you're on the correct page by checking the qualification accreditation number. This is the page for business and enterprise. And if you scroll down, you'll see some brief information about the qualification, including the career opportunities and performance table details. And if you scroll further down, you'll see the support materials tab, where you'll find the qualification specification, the synoptic connections document, and the tutor guidance document. In the Assessment Materials tab, you will find the sample assessment materials that are available for the NEA and the EA. Lastly, the teaching materials will also be available to download here too. If you don't have a login, it would usually be your exams officer who can help. You can also refer to the portal user guide on our website for further support. There are classroom packs containing ready-to-go teaching and learning materials with everything you need to deliver the V Cert effectively. The classroom packs will be in digital and editable format and will be free to download. There will be schemes of work which completely outline entire units of work based on 1-hour lessons for each content area. The schemes of work will contain an additional level of detail to help you deliver your lessons and include with suggested timings, lesson aims, learning outcomes, and suggested assessment activities. You will have complete PowerPoint presentations covering teaching content from the specification and includes teaching activities that could be used for learners. There will be comprehensive workbooks to complete to the scheme of work, which will contain classroom-based activities to recap and assess learning. The workbook will also include independent study tasks that can be used as homework or flipped learning opportunities, whatever you decide. Furthermore, the workbooks will contain learner roundups, which will be in short formative assessment for your learners to assess their knowledge using similar question types to those that will be used in the external assessment, multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and extended response questions. As with all resources, it is best to use them and adjust them to suit your learners. Using actual assessment material is a good way to make revision effective. And as I've already mentioned, there are also sample assessment materials that are available for the EA and the NEA for you to access on the website.
On our website, you'll find everything you need to support you with assessment. In the Access Arrangements and Reasonable Adjustments section, you'll find information about paper modifications and ways that fair assessment can be achieved and the associated policies. In the Special Considerations section, you'll find the policy, the definition, timescales, and how to submit a request. Before booking an external assessment, please refer to our external assessment timetable for the booking cut-off dates, the assessment dates, and results release dates. For our V Cert qualification, you are required to make a booking for the external assessment at the time of registration, and you'll be prompted to select an external assessment date before completing the registration in the portal. For the external assessment, there is a document called the Regulation for the Conduct of External Assessment. And for the internal non-exam assessment, there is a tutor guidance document which includes details about administering each task and the NEA regulations. There is also the Qualification Specific Instructions for Delivery document, or QSID for short, and this gives specific information for the different qualifications. So, for example, if the assessment needs to be invigilated or supervised. There is a V Cert Frequently Asked Questions section on our website where you can use the categories to find the relevant answer to your question or questions. If you have a question that isn't covered, you can always use our live chat feature or contact the customer support team using the contact details that will be further on in this slide. On the V Cert delivery support page, you'll see that we offer a range of delivery support events for V Certs, from networking to preparing to teach and standardization. There is also a V Cert playlist on our YouTube channel, and there are numerous webinars, CPD sessions, and training events which you can access on demand. Other support that is available includes our external quality assurance team, who can be contacted in relation to anything relating to quality assurance. And also our wonderful customer support team, who can help and support with first-line inquiries, registration queries, and bookings on the portal. NCFE endorsed both Hodder and iAchieve. There is a second edition learner textbook and Boost ebook along with a revision guide that are available to order now. For more information, do visit their website hoddereducation.co.uk or contact them at vocational@hoddereducation.co.uk. iAchieve have also produced complete and online resource packages that support these technical qualifications. And again, for more information, do visit their website, which is iachieve.org.uk. The provider development team supports staff to ensure that they're prepared to teach the qualification and are clear on the requirements for the delivery and assessment of the qualification. We provide a range of services and support interventions such as monthly webinars, training sessions and workshops. And if applicable, we can also offer tailored one-to-one consultations. If you do have any other questions or require any other support, you can request a support call via our website or contact us directly at provider.development@ncfe, and your question or query will be directed to a subject specialist within the team. We have now reached the end of the webinar, and we do hope that you found it useful. If you'd like to help us make any future improvements and/or changes to the service and support that we provide, then please do let us know, again at provider.development@ncfe.org.uk. Thanks for listening, and on behalf of everyone here at NCFE, we wish you a continued successful year.